Hello, everybody. Welcome to our webinar about AI-driven platform business model design. My name is Matthias Worte. I'm co-founder and CEO of FastBreak One. We are a venture studio dedicated to platforms and marketplaces. And we are also the creator of the Platform Innovation Kit, a tool that you can use to design perfectly platform business models, so multi-sided business models like marketplaces, and driven by network effects. We are on the market since about 9 years and publishing a lot about platforms, platform design, platform business models, how to scale them, etc. And yeah, as you know, in the last months or last year, the hype, the topic of AI and generative AI really peaked. And this was the reason for us also to explore how can we use AI inside of our work, inside of our workshops, inside of our advisory services to support our clients, yeah, doing and creating better platform business models. And here we are. So in our webinar today, we would like to share with you some of our learning, some of our best practices, and we put our learnings into a guide and to a playbook and also um, um, a prompting guide, which helps you to use some of the prompts we use in our work, also for your work. So we are open to share everything. This work has not been done only by myself. I have a fantastic team behind me. Daya is one of them. She's our head of Platform Academy. She's also involved in our daily work of our client advisory services, and also explored a lot about AI. And we have Alexei, our one of the top platform venture developers, AI expert. He recently also went to the university and attended some courses about AI. So he's very open to this new technology. He also explored this topic and put it into the daily work. And we all three sat together and put together this fantastic playbook and catalog of prompts. Yeah, as mentioned, we at FastBreak One, we are working together with a lot of clients, mainly corporates, but also with some startups. And the corporates we help to build up new business models, new platforms, always in a co-creation mode. So we are also co-investing and we bring in not only advisory service, but also tech development, marketing, business development, team set up, but also the acceleration of how to go to market, how to reach break even faster than other teams do. So this is our specialty. That's why we also called Fast Break, because we love to do the job as fast as possible, so that we know teams are limited by their budget. They are limited by going to market at a certain point in time, at a certain market window. So we are all about how can we accelerate venture building, how can we accelerate go to market to ensure everybody achieves their goals faster. As mentioned, we work together with a lot of corporates, learned a lot from them, and now our specialty is also going into the B2B platform world. So we help a lot of companies to explore how can they adopt platform business model design, how platform business model building also in a B2B space, which is a bit trickier and complicated compared to B2C. So it's a bit different. But there's a lot of opportunities there, how to remove inefficiencies in the market using platforms. What we will talk about today is a bit in the first part, we will go through the guide, to the playbook we developed. So it's a bit of an introduction of AI and how to use them to facilitate your workshops, but also to get better results or faster results compared when you start with a blank piece of paper. And we will also, in the second part, talk about or showcase to you the some of the prompts. So we will do a live demo so that you can see how it works and how you can adapt. And we are also open for Q&A. So anytime when you have questions, please raise your questions. We will see them in the chat, and we will have enough time at the end of the webinar to talk about your questions and try to answer them. We are not the biggest AI gurus, so we not developed our own large language model, etc. So we are not so technically deep into this topic. We are more coming from the user side. I try to leverage existing tools, existing applications as good as possible, and I think this gives us the advantage to also have the same perspective like you, and then we can share what we have learned, what our best practices are. And yeah, as also we are very open for your feedback. If you have any tips, any best practices, please let us know. Before we go into the topic, I also want to learn a bit more about you, and therefore I prepared a Slido. Please use this Slido. You should see now a link, a QR code, and please follow the QR code or with your mobile phone, or enter the code at slido.com and help us to learn more about you. And the first question is, we want also to see what is your AI expertise. So please help us to understand. Are you an AI superstar? More like a sophomore? Sophomore is more like some kind of experience. Or are you a rookie? So you tried out different tools, or you maybe are kind of an AI starter. So you want to start, but you have no experience yet. It would be good to see. And what is your level of expertise? So let's check. I see 11, 12 people online. Very good. Thank you for joining, and give me your feedback. And it looks like that we have yeah, good expertise here in the room. So sophomores and superstars. So a lot of you, some of you really already tried out AI, which is really good. The next question is, what is your main interest in this webinar? So is it you have specific challenges in your project and you want to see how AI could help you, or you are more like a coach and you want to understand, or you want to, yeah, spark your workshop experiences when you work with your client, or you're more like a platform expert and just curious how AI can support you, maybe other things. So it seems like that we have some good coaches here, business developers here, innovation managers here who want to spark their tool set. And also good to see that we have platform expert here. Not a surprise when we have a platform business model design webinar that we have platform expert here. Very good. And next question is about who you are. Who are you? Are you more like a startup entrepreneur, so a founder, co-founder of a startup? Are you a corporate entrepreneur coming from a corporate background, working at an enterprise? Or are you more like a coach, facilitator, business developer inside of the corporate? So, or maybe someone else from another background. Okay, so we have some entrepreneurs here, so founders of startup inside of a corporate, but also outside, and some coaches, facilitators. Very, very good. So I leave the poll open, so you can also answer the questions while we are continuing with our webinar. Let's go back to our main presentation. And the first part, maybe I can go through more quickly. I'm sure you're more interested into the live demo of the prompts, etc. But just as a as a as a background, we always think that AI is here to support you and not to substitute you. So this is our main driven. So we always learn that AI is good, AI can help you, but it will never replace a human, especially not in business development. There's a lot of common sense required, and therefore also entrepreneurial common sense. And currently, it's not really teachable to an artificial intelligence, and therefore we are sure that AI will not replace you or not substitute you. It just will enable you and maybe give you another kind of a superpower you can use. We see currently three main areas where AI can support you in your business development. First, it can facilitate and support you in facilitating your workshops. So when you have when you work together with your clients, with your teams, you need to prepare workshops. You need to go through the task, especially when you use online collaboration tools like Miro. Then you can leverage the embedded AI tools. We see a lot nowadays, AI in Zoom, AI in Miro, AI here and AI there. So a lot of applications embedded into your core workflow tools, and you can leverage them to streamline your processes. The other area is about research, where you can use AI-driven insight, so you can use the available AI tools like ChatGPT to do some research, to analyze data. You can also feed them with some data, with some studies, with some numbers, etc. And you can ask the AI to give you some kind of feedback, to summarize things, to analyze things. So it helps you to speed up the research. And the third part is about ideation. Yes, ideation is being creative, but we also learned that being creative means you don't always have to reinvent the wheel. So you can also rely on some pattern to spark your creativity. So when you use AI, then you can search how have others done that, maybe in other markets, in other industries, etc. So it can support you in of course research of patterns, but then also to spark your own creativity by learning from those patterns. So you can also use it for ideation. And this is how we see it. Mainly what we use in our work is, first we use Miro. Miro is an online collaboration tool. I'm sure a lot of you have used it or also heavy users right now. Miro is perfect. Miro also introduced Miro AI some months ago. And we will also showcase how you can use it in some minutes. And the other main tool we use is ChatGPT. There are also now other large language models available, embedded in browsers, embedded in Office, etc. You can also use or embedded in Notion, for example, to support you in brainstorming, etc. Mainly what we use is ChatGPT for the research and ideation, and we will also showcase to you in some minutes. So for Miro AI, maybe you have seen this already, but when you go to Miro and you use Miro, then you see when you click on an object that this button with those stars appears, and then this helps you. It depends a bit on the object you click on, but then you have a kind of a sub menu, and it helps you to generate mind maps, expand questions, etc. So it helps you with something to facilitate your process. So like mind maps, so you can expand your thinking, create ideas, etc. But you can also use it to synthesize data, uncover insights with a click. So please summarize, please cluster, etc. So it also helps you with that one. Or it can also automate your workflow with some suggestions, etc. We will not cover all of that. There's a lot of more material available. You can use YouTube, for example, there are thousands of videos available how AI and Miro works well together, some best practices. So we will not cover about that. You can also go to the official website of Miro.com to learn more about that, or you can try out things by yourself. The other thing we want to talk about is ChatGPT and prompt engineering. And before we go into the live demo, something we discovered and we would like to share with you. We also had another webinar some months ago about the AI and platforms and how AI and platforms work together. So maybe you can go back. We will also publish this playbook very soon. So you can also learn about platforms can benefit from AI directly. And so, for example, eBay and Co, they all developed 10 years ago their own AI to support their own matchmaking algorithms or filtering of the behaviors of users on the platform and so on. So there's already a lot of ongoing work of leveraging AI inside of platforms. So you can learn more about that in the other playbook. But now let's come back to how can AI and ChatGPT support you in your business model design thing. So what is ChatGPT? I'm sure it's not really new for you, and a lot of you already tried it out. Kind of a large language model. It's had been developed by OpenAI, the company or kind of a consortium, and it has been trained by a lot of data. So there are trillions of data sets feeded into this large language model, basically the whole internet. And they learned the large language model. How exactly this works, maybe this is another hour of discussion. So you can also go to the internet. There's a lot of sources out there how how ChatGPT has been built based on this data with how to train it, how to supervise it, etc. How they went from the early versions to now 3.5 and version 4. But this is something OpenAI, so the consortia, built as a foundational layer, and now they make the LLM, the large language model, the ChatGPT, available for applications. And applications like ChatGPT or some other embedded applications like in Office, Notion, etc. And here is on the application layer, so on the right-hand side here, you have now the interface where the user interacts with ChatGPT, and you do a search, you interact with the ChatGPT by entering some prompt. So prompt is like you ask the ChatGPT for an answer, and so you start a kind of a conversation. This is the basic model about LLMs. So it's really like a language model. So it's like a conversation you start, and you can. The advantage is that it's not like a search at Google, the original Google, and you get some results, or you can stay in the conversations and you can fine tune and you can follow up with follow-up questions inside of your conversation, and you stay in the conversation, and also the ChatGPT or LLM will continue to learn what you really want, try to adapt the answers, etc., based on their model behind. So it's all about questioning answers and starting a conversation with the LLM until you think you have found the right answer. So what is a prompt? So prompt is really like a starting point or a stimulus given to the large language model in order to generate a response. So it's like a question, it could be a statement, could be a partial sentence, providing a bit of a context to the model to understand. So, for example, a prompt could be like, "Hey, you are a business advisor. You have identified that your target audience consists of big corporates who struggle to identify different niches of the ecosystem where operates their company. What are some best practices for designing an effective course? on time management to help your students apply what they learn on their daily life. This is a good example of a prompt. So you give a bit of a context to the large language model, but you also ask them a specific question, and then you get an answer for that. So this could be like a prompt. So you see, you can really write them. It's not like coding, but you can really write to the LLM in whole sentences and with clear questions what you want, and they can and the LLM will respond to you. What we learned is also a kind of a magic formula. When you design a prompt, then you should apply this kind of a formula. It's called CSIR, context, specific information, intent, in a response format. And we will showcase it to you in some minutes. So first, you should give them a kind of a context. So it allows the ChatGPT to a bit of understand roles, maybe boundary conditions. So for example, I'm a beginner cook. So you're a cook, beginner, understands, okay. Then some specific information. So to outline the specific circumstances, surroundings, and so you can continue with, and I'm willing to cook Italian cuisine. So it understands, okay, you want to cook Italian cuisine, nothing Spanish, French, German. No, it's Italian. And then you say, what is my intent? So the specific task. So please provide me a simple and easy to follow recipe for spaghetti carbonara. So it's a very specific task. So simple, easy to follow recipe and so on. And then you ask them to give the response in a specific format, so the output format. So write it as a step-by-step list, and then ChatGPT knows, okay, the whole context, the information, the intent, and the response. So when you keep this in mind, when you design a prompt, then you should kind of use the CSIR formula. For us, it works very well, and it helps you also to think about the specific building blocks of a prompt when you write to ChatGPT. When you maybe you have heard about prompt engineering. So what is prompt engineering? So you learned about what is a prompt, and prompt engineering is kind of a new kind of a skill you maybe need to develop, because when you maybe you experienced it already, but when you work with ChatGPT, for example, and then you enter a prompt and the response is maybe not as good as you expected. So you need to see yourself like a developer. So you need to work on your prompt and design the prompt and improve the prompt so that the result, that the feedback, and that the answers are getting better and better. Also maybe getting repeatable results, so that not all the time when you enter the question to ChatGPT, the response is completely different, but it should be also a bit of repeatable, so that you can reuse the prompt in other settings. So prompt engineering refers to a kind of a process of creating prompts with a specific way, so that ChatGPT gives you the best possible responses. And the skill you need to develop as a business developer is also that you start thinking about, okay, now I have this prompt, the result is like this. How can I improve the prompt? So you need to work on the prompt, maybe go back to the formula we shared with you one slide before. Think about, okay, can I better apply it? Can I better change, fine tune the prompt, etc. So this is all about prompt engineering to better improve the prompts and also the responses. What you also should know about prompting is about role prompting. Role prompting refers to a point that you let the LLM know about a specific role. So you can give them some advices. So please act as you are. Or you can also kind of say pretend you are. So it helps GPT to act like this role you describe. So like you are a business developer inside of a corporate, or you are a cook, and so on. So you can give them some advices and to act like a specific role. And this allows the LLM also to go back their algorithms, to their neural networks, and think about, okay, what I have learned about Cook, what I have learned about the role from in other contexts, and apply that. And what you should also know about is that you can ask ChatGPT to format the output. We will also showcase this to you. So you can also say to ChatGPT, please, give the answer as a list, but also you can say, please give me the answer in form of a table or in a form of a CSV file. So you can also ask them about specific output formats. And this was also a point what we thought, this is the missing piece here. So yes, we know about ChatGPT, we see the conversation, but how actually can we use the data from ChatGPT inside of our work at Miro? And we will show it to you in a minute. So you can also, another point we learned is about how can we exactly be sure that the answer is correct. You maybe have heard about hallucinations. So the LLM is based on prediction. So they learned from all the data sets it analyzed. Then I have the sentence, and maybe after a specific word, the prediction is high likely that this word will follow. So it's more like a prediction engine that tries to predict the correct answer, but it doesn't really know the right answer. So, so sometimes it tries to complete the sentence or the answer, but the answer is kind of false. It's just based on the prediction and the model behind. But with some tweaks, you can improve the output. So for example, when you make sure your answer is exactly correct, then also LLM says, okay, I need to further work on the answer itself and try to supervise it by myself and to try to check it against other parameters. And so the output is more high likely correct or better compared to when you leave this sentence out. So this is also a kind of a hack we use. And we learned that the outputs, the results are much better compared to when we leave the sentence out of our prompts. Okay, this is enough theory about ChatGPT prompt engineering. Now let's go into the platform innovation kit, AI, and our prompt catalog. As you know about the PIC, what we have developed over the last years is this double loop model. And this model is for us a kind of a guide that we say when you build up a business, any kind of business, then you have to align always 4 perspectives. In the first phase of your startup, of your venture, you're more about discovering and launching it and validating your hypothesis. But you have those 4 perspectives about the market, the business model, your solution, and the team. And later on, in later stages, then you, of course, you stay with the 4 perspectives, but the flavor of those 4 perspectives change a bit. So from a market to an ecosystem, from business to network effects, from a solution to more experience, team more to a culture, etc. But anyway, you need to align those 4 major perspectives around, and you need to bring them together. And this was for us the guidance to say, okay, what are the key questions, the key challenges in those 4 perspectives, and how can we support them with our canvases? And so we developed a big set of canvases for all important parts of those perspectives, as you can see here in this chart. So when you talk about the market, you can use market research with the ecosystem canvas, or the context. You want to understand the context, and you can go into the ecosystem forces scan to analyze trends. When you talk about your solution, then you can use the value network canvas to design this multi-sided business and so on. So you have specific canvases helping you and facilitating you in your work and working on all different aspects of your business model. We also incorporated sustainability. So by design, when you work on your specific canvases, you always have kind of green fields, and those green fields help you to consider what is really the impact, not only for me and my profit, but also for the planet and the people. And now we also worked on some prompts you can use for specific canvases. Not all of them right now, not for all of them it makes sense, but for some of them. And so we added some prompts to our canvases. And how is the workflow we learned works best for us? So our proven workflow between Pig, ChatGPT, Miro, because we use everything right now in Miro, is like that. So you select the canvas, you select the key question, then you go to the prompt catalog and select the right prompt, the appropriate prompt. Then you use the prompt, copy paste it into ChatGPT, you bit fine tune it. We have some variables in brackets so you can fine tune and adjust to your circumstances. Then you get the results. Most of the time you get the results in form of a CSV file or CSV format. Then you copy it into Excel, and then Excel understands CSV, and then you just copy and paste it back into Miro, and Miro understands and directly sees, okay, this pasting is coming from a CSV format or table, and then you can generate automatically sticky notes out of that. Then you can use the sticky notes on your canvas. You can discuss it, and if you're not happy, then you can maybe follow up with the ChatGPT. So this is a kind of a proven workflow we use, and I will show it to you right now. So let me show you our My Report. Second. So you should see my report right now. This is basically a board, kind of a template we use when we work with our clients and teams together. And you see this is the whole process of working with our canvases. At the beginning, you have a lot of material around what is the tool set, how to use it, what is the process, etc. Then you have each step helping you to discover new platform opportunities, but also in later stages to fine tune your model, etc. And we use this to work together with the team. And as you can see, the pink areas, the magenta areas below, here we added some prompts, so you can use right out of the box. And I would like to start with a demo with the ecosystem scan or the ecosystem scoping. So we developed a tool which is called the ecosystem journey canvas. And the ecosystem journey canvas is a canvas which helps you to understand the broader ecosystem around a specific topic. So here in this example, you see we talk about smart home, and we wanted to explore what belongs to smart home, because we say nowadays we not talk about industries anymore, we talk about ecosystems. But the first main challenge when you work with teams is to scope the ecosystem. Say, what is smart home? What belongs to smart home? So you need to find as a team for you a definition. What is smart home? So what are the segments of this ecosystem? So what are the pies, the pieces of this pie in this chart? And then second one is then you go deeper and you analyze who are enablers, producers, orchestrators in this ecosystem. So what are other companies, other solutions already out there to understand, okay, how is this ecosystem shaped at the moment? Who is in there? What are key players? Who are key stakeholders, etc. But also what are emerging needs in this ecosystem. So it's a very good exercise to get a good understanding what is the ecosystem we are talking about. it's a good exercise, but at the other side, it's also an the first part is really tricky. Very often, when we work with the teams, they come together in a room, and then a long discussion starts about what is the scope of this ecosystem, and this maybe takes half an hour, 1 hour, just to clarify what is the scope, what is behind each segment. And we said, okay, we need to accelerate, we need to speed up this whole thing. And so one prompt we developed is about scoping the ecosystem. So it's about the prompt is like this: you are an innovation leader looking for opportunities to launch new products. Describe the ecosystem around the ecosystem. You can specify, identify 8 main segments and 3 complementary segments. Make sure your answer is correct. So this is the hack we talked about. And the output formal: create a CSV formatted list separated by semicolon with 2 columns. First column segment, second column with description. So you can use this this prompt, as I will show you. Copy and paste. Then you go back to ChatGPT. ChatGPT depends on your subscription in your plan. You can use GPT 3.5 or GPT 4 if you have a better subscribe to a plan. You need to spend, I think, €20 or $20 per month to get access to GPT 4. You can then enter your prompt here, and then you need to change the variables we added here with the brackets. Let's take the point of living at home. Identify 8 main areas, blah, 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 and then you press go. And then GPT-4 is a bit slower compared to GPT 3.5, but it starts by generating you a great answer, as you can see. So it's kind of thinking, and you see he already starts about main segment and additional segments. So start with describing and all kind of creating those categories like furnishing, automation, entertainment, office, maintenance, security, and also a bit of the subscription behind, and complementary segments. And now, as you can see, now ChatGPT uses our instruction to put it into a CSV format list. As you can see, it takes a while, but it's much faster instead of going into the discussion with the people in the room. And give some final comments. And what you then can do is you click here on copy code, and then you go back to Excel. Let me open up Excel. Just an empty Excel file. You paste it in, and then you see it already started to generate it as a list. And so I forgot. Paste it again. The what? Then you can say continue semicolon, and then you finish, and then you have your table with the segment and the description. Then you take those both, copy again, and then you go back to my row. Remember the flow. You go back to my row, or you can go directly to your canvas, and when you now command or paste, then Miro automatically understands, okay, you want to paste your data as a table or convert the cells into sticky notes, and then you say paste as a table or paste as sticky note. Then you can say paste as sticky note. And then you see it generates the table as sticky notes. And what we then prefer, for example, then you can enlarge it a bit. What we also use is like make it a bit bigger, and also a bit formatting, put it together. And then based on that, you can move it to the specific segments. Those are the main categories you can already use, distribute, or before you distribute, you can also discuss it as a team if they are correct or not correct. The description of each segment helps you to go into the discussion. And if you're not happy, you can fine tune, but it also sparks your creativity and your understanding. So you don't need to rely on ChatGPT. It's just a starting point, but it helps you to get going and say, okay, yes, correct. When we talk about living at home, furnishing makes sense, home automation makes sense, home entertainment makes sense, home office, maintenance, security, all of those things really make sense. Maybe you can redistribute things, but it helps you get started with a lot of things. Now, the other point about ecosystem scan is about understanding the player. So we distinguish between enablers, producers, and orchestrators. So orchestrators are platforms in this specific area. So platform marketplaces. Producers are mainly the providers of goods and services, and enablers are kind of enabling companies, like, for example, logistics or banks, insurance companies, supporting you with enabling services, and mainly enables the producers to deliver or enables the customers to purchase product services via a marketplace, for example. And to also get things going, the research, we also use the prompt, for example, identify market players, identify real and existing companies. So it's important. First point is you stay in the conversation, so it understands, okay, this is my my ecosystem we are talking about. So you don't need to give them a specific instruction about the ecosystem anymore because it learned about the ecosystem, but you can add some things and fine tune like a market. So for example, what is the German market or the Spain market, etc. So you can ask them, please identify real existing companies and structure them by their role. So then you give them a bit more context about the role. So what are a producer, what is an enabler, what is an orchestrator. Again, make sure your answer is correct. And then again, please give me the output as a CSV file. So let's try it out. Let's go copy the prompt. Let's go back to ChatGPT in the conversation. So we stay in the conversation. It's a follow-up. Identify, here's our prompt in the market. Again, we have a bracket here. So let's talk about in Germany, in every single segment above, blah, 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 structured, different roles, enter correct, and let's put into action and video and check the result. As you see, it's a bit also AI needs to think about it. Let's see how fast it can give me an answer. And this is also an important notice here, notification as of my last update in January 2022. So in ChatGPT 3, they give you only access to data before 2021. Now with GPT-4, I think maybe I don't know, but 3.5 and 4, they give you some more up-to-date data, so it's more accurate. And for our purpose of filling out the canvas with some examples to get a good understanding, I think the data is enough. If you need more precise data, then maybe you need to connect it to other large language models, or maybe your own trained language models. And there are also some other research companies who have also now started to put their learning or their whole studies and market research into LLMs and make them available. But in our case, it's also good. And as you can see, the result, he uses the same segment as we had before. And now he finds in each segment some examples. So you can copy them again. You go back to Excel, copy and paste again with the import and the semicolon, and finish. And then you see we have now 3 columns. We have the company itself, we have the role, and we have a description. Again, we take this, copy, go back to my row, put it in here, paste as sticky notes. Then we have them already here. And we learned this was about home furniture. So what we go to the segment of home furniture. Then we understand, okay, IKEA is the producer. So we take those 2 sticky notes, put them here into the producer field. We can delete. Otto has an online marketplace, so we can use and put them under orchestrator, and DHL as an enabler. Very good example for logistics we can use and put here into enabler. And then we can go back to ChatGPT. We can take the next segment and do again copy and so on. So I think you understand how it works. If you're not happy with the result, you can also always follow up some more examples. But at the end, it helps you to fill out the canvas with some examples that you can use to prepare. You can prepare the workshop to start with something as an inspiration, or you can do live inside of a workshop, also very, very helpful. Another point is about market research, about environment scan. So herefore we use something like the ecosystem forces scan. This is an example how we have done this in the past. So we use this canvas to check trends, check studies. So we collect a lot of studies from the web, analyze them, and then we say, okay, what we learned from this study, how important is this for this ecosystem? How will this shape this trend, the ecosystem in the next years? And what are the emerging customer needs coming out of that? So we put it also into relationship to each other. So the more important trend we put more to the middle, the less important trend we think has a less bigger impact we put to the outside. So it helps us to go also into a discussion and align our thinking as a team. And then we understand the emerging needs. And therefore we also created a set of prompts. So for example, please give me specific trends around market forces, the environment, the sustainability, or customer behavior, and so on. So again, what you can do is you can just copy the prompt, go back to ChatGPT, paste the prompt, then you have seen, okay, you're an innovation leader looking for opportunity to launch new products within the ecosystem of, here we had living at home. To understand changing user needs, demands in the future, you want to explore key trends in the ecosystem market of, for example, Germany, you can keep. Are there any legislative, regulatory trends, key technology trends, changing customer segments, etc.? So you can also, again, check that your answer is correct, CSV format, and then let's go. So you understand there's a kind of a pattern, and then it starts to, ChatGPT starts to analyze and gives you some feedback here. Put it into a CSV table, and it takes a while to generate, but it also has a good description. What you can also use and try is to give you the source of information. So where is this coming from? Not always it's possible. Sometimes they can give you also some links to a specific study. So you can check by yourself and compare the result what ChatGPT gave you as an answer compared to what you would take out of the study. Again, you can copy, go back to Excel, and then you can paste it again, check, paste in the column. So then you have also the pattern, which is really good. I think so. You see, it's go back to Miro, and then you can again paste it here. Paste the sticky notes. You have them here. It was about, I think, environment. So you can go to the environment part, and you see, okay, we have something like sustainability, eco-friendliness. We found out increasing demand by Statista, so it's a very good thing. So you can also discuss and so on. So you can always discuss it as a team, and then, as you said, we can, as we mentioned, we always use it, and then we discuss it. How important is this trend versus another trend, and also especially the change to demand, and is it growing? Is it increasing demand and slowing down demand, etc. So what can we really synthesize out of the study? What is the main thing? And then we can discuss it and say, is this more important compared to the other one? And then we say maybe remote work adoption is more important compared to sustainability and eco-friendliness. So we can also discuss it as a team. So you see, you guess this is how it helps you to get going and things going on. So this is one example also for the environment scan, so for the trend analysis. And another one is what we use also for the persona. For the personas, we use also a canvas. We call it stakeholder personas. We have a lot of stakeholders, a lot of personas inside of your ecosystem, and you want to understand them. So I think you're also very familiar with the job to be done and maybe the value proposition canvas, etc. So we adopted it and created the stakeholder persona canvas to understand, okay, what is the persona itself, but what are also the goals, desires, the pains, dreams, aspirations, but also what is their main driver of change, their contribution to the platform. And then we can later on follow up and say, how is it linked to our value propositions of our platform? And therefore, we also created a list of prompts. You can also use step by step, as you can see with the arrows here. You can start by describing the key persona in a specific market with a specific role. So, for example, a cook or a homeowner, etc. And then it gives you also some feedback back. An answer again, the same pattern again. Ask them to generate a CSV file, and then you can copy and paste it. So, for example, we are here now in the ecosystem of living at home, role of maybe a home owner as a key persona. Enter, and then ChatGPT starts to think and gives you a feedback. Hopefully. So, generate. It also understands the jobs to be done framework. So something also he recognized and learned from the data in the past. Again, it starts to create a list. We can copy the list, go back to Excel, put it in here. Again, semicolon, finish. Then we have the category and the job to be done. Go back to Miro, and then we can paste it in here, and then we have already a good description we can use. There, what is the job to be done? And as you can see, we can use, okay, kind of security or maintenance, comfort, finance, upgradation, sustainability, entertainment, communities, everything what is important for him as a homeowner, and then you can put on the canvas and work with it. So this was a kind of a sneak preview of how we leverage ChatGPT and prompts. Let me go back to our guide here. Yeah, as mentioned, we have now developed this playbook here, and we will share the playbook also with you at the end of the month. So if you want to get notified about the release of the playbook, and also part of the playbook is also our prompt catalog and the Miro template we showed to you today in the demo. Please go to platforminnovationkit.com and subscribe to our newsletter if not already, if you are not already a subscriber, and then you can you get notified about the release, and then you can download. We are very open for any kind of feedback. I've seen here in the chat that Gunt has also shared a link about Perplexity as a real-time research source. So if you have more feedback, more things we should consider, what you learn, please share it with us. Please feel free. We are very open to learn. We are practitioners like you. We are happy to share our best practices, our learnings with you. So please do the same with us. We are very open. Yeah, we have 2-3 minutes left. Is there any bigger question from your side? Then we have the time to answer your question. Then how would you verify the persona you build with ChatGPT with real users? We always do 2 times of validation. First, we call the problem validation. So we make statements about the user, and then we go out and ask real users, is this problem or if our understanding of your pain point and problems, etc., correct? Then they give us a feedback. Sometimes it's supported by really market research or bigger market research, bigger customer surveys, etc. When we ask 3,000 users or something like that, could be also much smaller to get fast results. Depends a bit on who are your personas. In B2B, it's maybe sufficient to talk to 20 and not to 3,000, but more in the consumer world, it's more likely that you talk to 1,000 instead of 10. And so this is our first validation round. The second validation round we do with a solution. So we create a solution later on, a concept, and then we showcase the concept to the users, to the potential customers and users, and ask them, is this solution we have in mind going into the right direction? Would you use it? And so on. And then we get a second kind of feedback, the second round of validation before we do any kind of coding and development. There is another question coming. Is it possible to skip the copy paste step in Excel and just paste it in Miro? Currently, no. We tried this, but it's not really working. That's why we need Excel. Excel you can also use Google Sheet or others which understands CSV format, but it works very well. And as you have seen, it is 10 seconds or so. So it's not really a big obstacle here. So you do a 10-second copy paste, bit of reformatting, and then fine. Okay, then here also a comment by Christian. Hi, Christian. Nice that you're joining. Syntheticusers.com is also a tool to simulate personas, get a bit of a feedback. Very good. Never heard about that. Also good for us to learn. Yeah, thank you for sharing. Yeah, now we are 1 minute past 10. Thank you very much for joining. Don't want to stretch too much your time. Thank you very much for joining. Tune in and give some feedback. early start for us also here with AI. Hope you like it. And as said, please subscribe to the newsletter, then you get notified. And then end of the month, we will release it. And then you can try it out and give us also some feedback. Again, thank you very much for joining. Enjoy the rest of your day. And yeah, let's stay in contact.